Orker Jev. I represent the good people of Buruku, my dear colleagues. I'm from Benue State. I rise to move that a bill for enact to repeal and reenact the Oil and Gas Export Free Zone Authority to... I'll take that again. I rise to move that a bill for enact to repeal and reenact the Oil and Gas Export Free Zone Authority Act to provide for the designation and establishment of oil and gas free zones and special investment areas in Nigeria. Establishment of Oil and Gas Investment and Free Zones Authority. A bill for enact to amend the Oil and Gas Export Free Zone Authority Act, Cap Q5, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, with a view to providing for the designation and establishment of oil and gas free zones and subzones in Nigeria, and a bill for enact to repeal and reenact the Oil and Gas Export Free Zone Authority Act to provide for the designation and establishment of oil and gas free zones and special investment areas in Nigeria. Establishment of the Oil and Gas Investment and Free Zones Authority and for other related matters be read a second time. Mr. Speaker, my dear colleagues, I so move. Pointed out, this is a consolidation of 4 bills. My own leg of the bill seeks to amend 8 sections of the Principal Act, which has been distributed along with my legislative brief. I seek your support for the second reading of this bill. The extant position of the law and of the situation on the ground is that we have an oil and gas free zone authority which is situated in One Ikpokiri area of Rivers State, which was designated in pursuance of the Principal Act. Now, the bill therefore seeks the designation and establishment of oil and free zones and subzones across the country. Section 1, my dear colleagues, seeks to liberalize the establishment of oil and gas export free zones by allowing the President to designate any area as a free oil and gas zone. Subsection 1 of that section, that is subsection 2 of section 1, introduces new provisions thereof and consequently listed the scheduled areas designated as oil and gas free zones. Mr. Speaker, we seek to amend section 3 of the Act, which is to expand the establishment of the governing board by subjecting the appointment of the chairman of the board to Senate confirmation. That subsection also seeks to include the Controller General of Nigerian Customs or his representative and the Controller of Immigration Service or his representative as members of the board. We are seeking to amend Section 5, my dear colleagues, of the Principal Act by increasing more functions of the authority to make the authority more responsive to its mandate. Next is Section 6 of the Principal Act, which is to provide for the tenure of the Managing Director of the authority and to make the Secretary of the authority as the Secretary of the board. Section 7 is being amended to vest authority to acquire land, hold, manage, and alienate movable and immovable property, assets, and real estate. We are also seeking to amend Section 8 of the Principal Act to substitute for the existing provision, new provisions which seek to expand the scope of exemption from taxes to include the Federal Inland Revenue Service, the Custom and Excise, the Companies and Allied Matters Act, and the Industrial Training Fund. The implication is that the areas designated as oil and free gas zones are exempted from taxes by the agencies of government that I've mentioned. Finally, my dear colleagues, Section 10 is being amended to insert new subsection 5 of Section 10 to increase the power of the authority when granting licenses. Section 12, that was in the final one. Section 12 of the Principal Act is amended to allow the handling of oil and gas-related cargoes only at approved gas oil and gas concession ports. This, in a nutshell, is what my leg of the bill seeks to amend. I therefore seek your cooperation that this bill be allowed to pass second reading. My dear colleagues, that is my submission.
In favor of the motion, say aye. Those against it, say nay. Ayes have it. Now invite the
A bill for an act to amend sections 2, 4, 7, 11, and 15 of the Compulsory Free Universal Basic Education Act, Cap C52, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria, 2004, to provide for the return of unused federal government book grant, make provision for rehabilitation of delinquent children, provide a comprehensive definition of services, stakeholders, and a child or what is captured in the Enabling Act, and to enhance the welfare of teachers by ensuring that before states access the federal government grant, the states are required to fulfill their obligations to teachers by ensuring that eligible teachers due for promotion and salary increment are promptly paid their entitlements, to encourage efficiency